Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Toya T. This is actually a Lyft video. I know I haven't done a Lyft video in forever, and that's because I didn't drive for a long time. As I've said gazillion times, I teach, and the school year started, in September, and I was trying to see if I could do Lyft on the days that I don't work, but it just did not work that way. I had a lot of other things to do, and especially with prep and teaching and other stuff, it just was not possible, especially since I don't live in Boston and I have to pretty much drive into Boston to get any real rides. So I stopped in October and took a hiatus until recently. I did my first ride, I think, at the end of December, and I did some rides last week, and I try to do this week, but it's my last week off before the school year starts, and I just was not feeling like driving and waking up super early to go do that stuff, go into Boston. So some things I noticed after my hiatus from driving Lyft. A lot of stuff has changed. A lot. First of all, their whole system, I mean, it's good for the passengers, but the whole charging people down to the cent now. So when you get a ride, instead of it rounding up, it used to be like, oh, that's a $10 ride or that's a $12 ride. Now it's, $9.99 or, $9.94. And seeing that they also take out their fees too, which I think is about 15% or 10% or what, no, it's not 10%, but I think it's like 15 or 20% they take out from each ride. It just makes it seem like you'd have to do a lot of driving to make money with the way that they are now averaging it. And it's great for people who are taking rides. Obviously, you can get a nice cheap ride if they're, charging you whatever cent per mile. But for the drivers, I can see how that could be. People who drive full time, I can see how that could be an issue. Another thing that I noticed is also that's changed is that I like that they now have the system where if you're with a group of people, you can actually split the fare with them, so you can both pay using the Lyft app. I pay 10, you pay 20, or whatever it is. So that makes it pretty cool, and that's something that you can't necessarily do in a taxi cab if you have to pay by credit card or debit. You can do it with cash, but that's definitely something that puts them a little bit ahead of the taxi cab. So I think that's absolutely pretty cool. Another thing that I noticed that I think is kind of caca is some of the changes they did to the referrals and stuff, like just particularly what they're offering people. And yes, I know that they had to offer a lot to build their business. So before, when you tried it out, you got up to $25 for free if you were a first rider, and they gave the driver $15 for getting someone to use their referral code. Now it's at $10 for a free ride, up to $10, which doesn't really take you anywhere unless you were just going down the street. And in that case, unless you have groceries or something in your hand or it's cold, I don't see why you're taking a Lyft in the first place. If it's, I feel like the first ride should be fully free. And, $25 would cover a lot of ground. And I think for $10, you're not really going anywhere. You might as well just use your feet and walk. Yeah, so I just think that it's kind of just whack on that point. And the driver only gets $5 for referrals, and I think it should be 10 and 10 or 20 and 10. I think they should offer new passengers at least $20 for trying out Lyft for the first time, and give the drivers like 10. I think that is absolutely fair, but they changed that. They also changed the referral, driver referral. So it used to be at $250, and now it's at $50 if you get someone to sign up and become a driver on your code, which is again caca. And I don't even really believe the referral system. I think one of the issues is that they don't allow you to know how many rides someone who is a driver underneath you that used your code has made, because they're supposed to give you the bonus after the person has completed 20 rides within 30 days. And I had several people use my codes And they keep telling you like, oh, we're encouraging people to drive, but I don't know who's using my codes, because these are, people like you, my viewers, who are using, thankfully using my code to try out driving for Lyft. And I don't know you, and I don't have your information to be like, how are you doing with this? And so it just, I actually had to check up with customer service to see why I haven't received any of my bonus referrals for drivers. And then they explained to me, what the numbers were for each person that signed up. But I have to just trust that they're giving me the right numbers. But it's like, out of all the people that have used my code, you're trying to tell me not one of them has actually completed it so I can get my bonus. And now the bonus is at $50 and not $250. Which is supposed to be a bonus for, I think, both the driver and I think it's a bonus for both the driver and the person who referred them. And I didn't get any of that. And I just recently had someone sign up on my code. Thank you very much. And I have no idea, how they're doing. So I guess I have to check in again and get them to do it for me. But the crazy thing is, even though they have your referral code and they can track who used your code, even if someone used your code to drive with somebody else, for some reason, when you have driver referrals, they can't track it. I had to actually give the names to them, like look up the emails of John Smith signed up to be a driver underneath your thing, wasn't approved. And it's like, okay, I gotta look up all these emails. Like, you just can't look up my code and see who used my driver referral code. So that is definitely a flaw in the system. What else did I notice about it? People who take Lyft are still awesome. I still love the experience of it, even though I just don't have as much time to do so during the school year. And being winter does not help. But I have to say that one good thing is that I did go out on one of the coldest days during my break. It was like -3 degrees when I left the house. It was super cold, and I was like, yo, people are definitely going to want Lyft rides. So I went out on the road, and I actually made $160 in 2 hours. The first ride was, maybe like $15, and the second ride was $120. I got $100 fare. So you can make that kind of money. Only thing is that they, of course they took, it was $100 fare only because it was a $50 fare, but because of the time of day and where I picked them up, it was 100% prime time. So they have to double the prime time tip was, was the same amount as the actual fare. So I got a $50 tip. And of course they took out their percentage. I only got like $95 of it, which is fine, whatever. But, I just, that's the kind of stuff that I love, that you could actually go out and have something like that happen and actually get, a really, good check and not even burn that much gas. As soon as I made that $100 fare, it was like way out. I had to pick them up in downtown Boston and had to drive them all the way out, to the northwestern part of Boston, outside of Boston. And, once I did that, I just went home because there was no reason for me to continue driving. So it was actually very, very cool. So that's what I still love about Lyft, that if you just have the time and feel like going out on the road, especially during prime time hours, that you can do so. So those are the kind of things that I have noticed since my Lyft hiatus. I'm going to try to drive Lyft more now that my teaching schedule is a little bit is less than last semester, so I have less classes, and so I should have more time. I have more days off, and I'm teaching the same class, so it's less prep for me for each class now. So I should be able to do that. I also will be spending time trying to find a new job, a full-time job. So, there's lots of stuff that it allows me to do. So I'm pretty happy about that. But if you have any questions about driving for Lyft, or you have anything that you would like to add or comment about or talk to me about, just leave your message, leave your a message below, a comment below. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for checking me out, guys. Bye.